Light and Hope, ein Podcast von Hoodie Plays Resurrection. Und damit einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Es ist Samstag, der 23.01.2021, 23 Uhr genau. Hier ist euer Ollie am Mic Live. Schön, dass ihr dabei seid. Willkommen bei Light and Hope, dem Podcast zur Guiding Light und der Springfield Story. Es ist wunderbar, das hier machen zu dürfen. Hoffen wir, das nächste Jahr wird besser und es ist Hoffnung da, dass es besser wird und wir bald alle wieder unser Leben normal weiterführen können. Aber jetzt kommen natürlich auch neue Sachen zum Vorschein. Neue Projekte werden gemacht und da sind wir auch mit dabei, und zwar Light and Hope widmet sich ganz klar Guiding Light, die Springfield Story heißt es im Deutschen, der Soap Opera, die 20 Jahre lang im Fernsehen gelaufen ist. Ich wollte schon sowas immer wieder mal machen, aber ich habe nie so wirklich die Initiation dafür gehabt. Aber jetzt ist es soweit. Hier ist die erste Ausgabe mit Katie Parker persönlich, und zwar gespielt von Denise Pence in den 70ern von 1977 bis 85. Eine lange Zeit. Es war ein sehr tolles Gespräch. Schöne, epische Momente, persönliche Momente haben wir miteinander geteilt. Es war eine Reise, wie man feststellen wird. Es ist komplett in Englisch, aber sag euch, es lohnt sich total. Und Denise war so freundlich und aufrichtig zu mir, das ist wunderbar. Also ich kann nur sagen, für die erste Folge kann ich mir keinen besseren Gast wünschen. Also, los geht's. Hier ist Denise Pence. Sie sagt einfach nur, say hello. Here we go, folks. It's Friday 2021, and here's Hoodie Plays Resurrection. No, it's not yet what Hoodie Plays like. And it's Light and Hope, and it's in my new podcast for especially guiding light actors in my life, in called German, the Springfield Story. And I have the honor, the amazing Katie Parker himself, Denise Pence, is here live with me on Skype. Hello, Denise. So great to see you. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Ollie. This is awesome. And hello to all the German fans out there. I wish I could say in German, I love you for following me. Thank you.
Of course. So, yeah, how's the life for you now and so far? Have you a good life in the crisis, or would you say, no, it's not so good?
Well, all of us are having to deal. I don't think we have any choice, to tell you the truth, but a lot of the actors I know back in March when we were going through this, a lot of us got together on Zoom, right? We started creating these little families of gatherings that were able to share the crisis together. You know, we were all in the same boat, and a lot of us went internal. A lot of us were helping each other in a way. I know in the middle of all of that, I actually got an agent, which was completely shocking to me. I haven't had an agent in the business since Guiding Light, really. And there was no social media during when they let me go in 1985. I felt like I went into a black hole, you know, and it's pretty similar to what we're going through now. It's a black hole. It's like the communication is nil in a way. And yet you struggle to figure it out. And so a lot of the actors, we started coming together, and we got very spiritual, I think. We found where to be grateful. We found where to find the joy again. And last Wednesday was the inauguration of Biden and Harris, which we completely support. And that same day, my husband and I got our vaccinations, our first dose of the vaccination. So I feel like we're coming out of all this now. And, you know, going through it, it's kind of like, you know, this too shall pass. And we just have to be strong, and we have to keep our sense of humor. You know?
Yeah, it's very hard, by the way. It's very hard, all this.
There's always something that you can, and I find the arts, you know, theater has been hit pretty heavy. And yet there's a lot of us as actors who found certain groups. I actually created a Shakespeare group last September, I think it was, when we started. I didn't know if it would work or not, but I know I wanted to. I have these books of Shakespeare on my piano that have been there for years, and I never sit down to really read them. And I thought, well, I wonder if I could get a group of actors together and we could read the plays together. And so we started with Midsummer because I always wanted to do Titania. And and we had so much fun that we decided to do another play and another play. And starting next week, well, I'm casting right now, Henry V. I mean, it's crazy. It's a huge history play, which I don't know at all, but we're casting it now, and everybody's very excited to, play Henry and play the Dolphin and play the Earl of Gloucester, and it's really
But sounds good.
some
Sounds good.
challenge.
Sounds really good. Sounds really good, Denise. Really.
Yeah, it's something to look forward to. It's not soap opera,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
nobody gets to see it. But I do have, just so the audience knows, I do try to put together these little videos. It's a spoof on Brush Up Your Shakespeare. And I just finalized the video for Taming of the Shrew, where I got to play Kate.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's out there on YouTube. I don't know how you'd find it, but it is out there. So on my channel, I think.
Thanks for the
So, yeah,
information. Thanks
we're
for the
doing
information.
stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much. You were actress for so long time before we talk Guiding Light. Was your first wish in your life to become an actress, or have you another dream to work?
Well, my first incarnation in the business was as a dancer. I studied ballet
Really?
and modern, and I was a heavyweight dancer in college in North Carolina, and then I came to New York, and I was only supposed to stay for 6 weeks. I was studying dance at the Graham School, and I picked up this backstage newspaper where you get jobs because I loved New York. I came into New York and I felt, oh my God, I love this place. I want to stay here. So I was trying to find a job that I could, let me see if I could stay.
Yeah.
And I went to an open call for Broadway. I took 4 of my friends from the Graham School, and we went to this open call, and there were like 250 other girls, and it was crazy. I actually wrote this story in a book for our rehearsal club women. I don't know if you know the rehearsal club, but the rehearsal club was a girls' residence for theater women that actually existed in New York. And I got a cot. I didn't get a room because it was all full up, but they gave me a cot so I'd have a place to stay and sleep anyway, and 2 meals a day. And those girls at the rehearsal club helped me with my callback to Broadway, and I got the job. And so years later, we've got this group of rehearsal club women who are still alive because the rehearsal club closed up in 1979. And those girls came together, and I was pretty instrumental with those girls. I was their chair for about, well, I was an officer of the steering committee from the inception, and then I chaired for the last 4 years that took us into incorporation. So now if you go to the website, it's now rehearsalclubnyc.com, and it's a whole other organization. It's what we started, but it's moving and grooving in much bigger ways now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to pull back because I have an agent and I want a career again.
Yeah, career.
So that's what's going on. And this book, we have a book that has 30 writers like me that tells the beginning of their coming to New York and living at the rehearsal club, and my getting Broadway and other stuff that I got.
Oh, amazing.
So it was really,
amazing. Wow.
That was the beginning of a career as a Broadway dancer. And at some point, it was actually Pippin, which was the last show that I did on Broadway. And I made this big decision that I was going to go after straight plays. And that took a while because producers would look at my resume and go, musical comedy, she can't talk, she only dances.
Say she can only dance, she cannot talk or so or stuff. So what is hard for you?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's actually a line in a chorus line.
Mm.
Steve and I, my character in a chorus line, Christine, the girl that can't sing, and Al, the guy from the Bronx, that's based on Steve and me.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the girls in one of the lines in chorus line, they say, you know, what I think it's Tits and Ass, Mitzi Hamilton. She said, well, you know, if you can't dance anymore, what are you going to do?
Mm.
And she comes up and says, well, I'll be an actress. It's, you know, we can talk too.
Yeah.
She says something like that. It's very funny, but I lived it, you know. It was really hard for me to get my first play. And I ended up doing a Neil Simon play out of town. And when I came back in, I got Guiding Light. So, you know, I had been studying acting all the time I was dancing on Broadway. I was studying with Wynn Hanman. And I really felt I was ready, that I could do this.
Yeah.
And that's why I gave notice at Pippin and went searching for a straight play. I didn't realize it was going to be so hard, but it was. And now I think my transition is changing the perception in the industry that I'm just a pretty face. That's hard too, you know. I want to be Meryl Streep, but I'm not getting the opportunities.
Wow, what a
But,
way! What a way! What a way for you from
well, we'll
dancing
see.
to actress. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, no, it's a long journey, but I figured I have a lot more years as an actress than I did as a dancer. My body doesn't move like it used to, that's for sure. But it's all good. It's all good. It's life. It's accepting change, you know, and that's why I went gray, because I'm older. I'm not camouflaging that anymore. I am an older woman.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, it's all good.
That's wow, really amazing. You joined Guiding Light in the really early years, and I say this was the years was very high point Guiding Light, the really highlight episodes and stuff. And so, how you joined Guiding Light in the first, and what was the first memory, first day on the set you shoot?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, it's an agent that is primary. I was interviewing with a new agent for commercials. And he said to me, you know, they're casting the soaps. Have you been in on them? And I said, well, this other agent that I have said I'm too young for the roles that they're casting. So he wouldn't even send me in.
Too young,
And this,
too young, mate, really, too young to say to you.
that time. Well, because I was auditioning, what they were auditioning for was Jackie Marler.
Ah,
And
okay, okay.
yeah. So, but this agent who didn't know me really well, he said, well, can I send you in anyway? And I said, sure, why not? Send me in.
Yeah.
So I auditioned, and I went through like a series of auditions. You meet the casting woman in the room. And then I remember Betty Ray saying, I'm not going to cut you. I'm going to let them do that. And I thought, what does she mean? And then what she meant was I had to go to the producers. And then if the producers liked me, I had to go to the network, which is the third level on camera. And I'm shocked to this day that I made it through all those hoops, and really grateful. I didn't know what I was getting into, and I didn't know that Guiding Light was so popular at the time. I do know that it took them about 2 years with me on board that they won the best show for the first time. Usually it was ABC. And I say all that in my history lesson number 1. I have 3 history lessons out there. And history lesson number 1 is the one where they created me. And history lesson number 3 was the hardest. And that's when they got rid of me. So it was my way of putting all of Guiding Light to bed. But I have to say that I'm very grateful that the fans are revisiting Guiding Light with all the DVDs that are out there.
Yeah.
And then they're finding me, God knows how, because I'm out there on social media. I feel that it's important for the business to know what I look like now and what what I'm doing, whether I'm working or not, I'm always working. Like the Shakespeare monologues, Shakespeare plays, we're reading the Bard. You can't get any better than that, as far as I'm concerned. And all of us are having a great time with the exercise. Some of us are better than others, and they're bringing all of this great fun to the readings. So I'm learning from everyone else. It's really great. It's one of my passion projects that I'm really having a lot of fun with while waiting to get hired for something else.
I understand what you mean. Yeah, you
Yeah.
play with so much great actors at the time. Maybe one of the best actors in Guiding Light in the 80s and 90s, and so it was for me the best. Guiding Light give me something, give me light, hope, family, safety, and it gives me really something. And I saw myself again in so many characters, in you and Josh and Reaver, so many other characters, and Rita, of course, she was a mother for me. I think all the time, Rita Bauer was the mother of Guiding Light.
Yeah, Charita was pretty. Charita was amazing woman. I mean, when I knew her, she was in her elder years, and she had physical challenges, and she always met them with such positivity and humor. And she was like a counselor for a lot of us. I wish I'd talked with her more often, to tell you the truth. And I told you this before you started recording this show, but I find it amazing. There was a scene with Katie that Katie's the nurse, and she has to bring in Santa's letters, all these letters that were written to Santa, right?
Yeah.
And she has to this big duffel bag of letters on the desk. So the taping comes, and I get this big duffel bag, and I go to dump it on the desk. And don't you know, these piles and piles of letters were all addressed to Charita Bauer.
That's amazing.
After she passed. It was heartbreaking to me, to tell you the truth, but it was also eye-opening to the magnitude of fans that she had and Guiding Light had, which, when I left in 85, there was no social media. I had no idea anybody cared. I figured they'd all forget, But social media has really taught me the power of television and the fans, because I do believe it was the fans that kept Katie working. I don't think she was ever meant to go anywhere. That early audition, I did not get Jackie Marler, and they had story written for Jackie Marler. And what happened was, one of the girls in the nurses station was leaving. She'd given notice. Trying to remember her name at this point. And they had a slot to fill. They didn't know what to do with it, but they thought, well, let's put this girl under contract. She's young, she's pretty. I don't know if she can act or not, but let's give her a spot. So they gave me a spot. And I happened to have a fabulous theater director at the time, John Pasquin. He was married to Jo Beth Williams, who he's gone on to do feature films and everything. But he was a theater director, and he directed our company of actors as if we were in the theater, which I loved. And he brought out all this comedy in me, which I didn't know I had. And the rest is history. Katie started picking up with the fans, and they enjoyed the humor. And I enjoyed every minute of it. I got pregnant. I had a ball those first couple of years, just a complete ball. And then, things change. But I'm very grateful to the fans who actually kept me there. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, the fans keep Guiding Light alive all these years. It's long.
I know.
Long in history.
There was talk on Twitter that the fans might get Guiding Light to revive itself on primetime or something. I don't know. It's out of my hands, but wouldn't that be weird to bring? I mean, all of us are so much older. I don't know if they would bring us back.
Yeah,
but
yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe you, the older ones of a new generation
yeah,
that can
they'd go
work
back with the
maybe.
young and pretty. Yeah, they'd probably hire young and pretty. Or maybe I'd be Charita Bauer at that time. I don't know. In my group where I have to go now, it's the door that would open would be a guest role.
Yeah.
They call guest star or co-star, and it would be a nothing role, minor, the same way Guiding Light was.
Mm.
I remember the first day on Guiding Light, I had no lines. I was sitting with four other characters, one of which was Rita,
Mm.
and this girl to my left was being really bitchy to Rita. And I remember I didn't like her, and I remember supporting Rita.
Mm.
And when I got home to see the playback, they had done a close-up on Katie, and my reaction to how I felt about this little bitch to my left and supporting Rita. And
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God, I didn't say anything. It was just reading on my face. And that's when I realized that it was important to know how I reacted to that. And I didn't know. I was just playing the scene. So it's very subtle. When people that are watching you make a decision about you, and then they find a slot for you that fits perfectly. And that, I think, it's pretty mind-blowing to me, because I don't know what I project half the time. I'm getting better at it, but sometimes, you really don't know how other people are perceiving you, or where they're creating a character and where they think your essence would be great in that character.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep is a chameleon. It's like she can go into any character and become that character. I don't know if I'm that good. I don't know if I could do that. I would love to aspire to that. Mark Rylance, I don't know if you know his name, but he's
Yeah,
a
the name,
Shakespearean actor.
yeah.
You know
I heard the name. Yeah, I heard the name.
Oh my God. He played, they brought it to Broadway, I think before COVID for sure. And he played a woman. The whole company was men, but the men played women. And oh my God, he was phenomenal, just phenomenal. And I thought, I could never do that. I don't know if I could ever play a man the way he plays a woman.
Wow, it's amazing to hear.
Wouldn't
Wow,
that be
wow, wow.
interesting,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the theater is great fun, for the possibilities that are out there.
Yeah, my next question to you maybe difficult.
You're asking me my favorite
No,
memory?
no. Sorry. In return, what is my greatest memory on Guiding Light and your character? Ask me this.
Okay. So let me know, Ollie. What do you remember as your most favorite part of Guiding Light that may or may not be around Katie?
Reva disappeared.
Huh?
Reva disappeared, and
When Reva disappeared.
yeah, and walk with the car, and she
Oh yes, I
in
remember
the
that.
ocean,
Over the cliff.
Yeah.
Scary.
That's
It's like Thelma
yeah.
Louise.
And
Yeah.
I never forget Robert's face. Reaver, no!
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Oh yeah. It was a
And
huge
she came back,
storyline.
right?
Yeah, as a clone storyline.
Clone story.
In
Yeah.
1995.
She
Yeah.
had some marvelous stuff to work with. Kim Zimmer.
Yeah.
Kim Zimmer. She was my idol. I would watch her work, and she was just so great through everything she had to do. Yeah, she's a very, very talented actress, and she's doing a lot of theater now, I hear.
Finished this web series. Do you heard from?
Oh, Crystal Chappelle's series.
Yeah.
They got a lot of Guiding Light people, I think, toward the end there. I didn't know Crystal. I don't think Crystal knew me, so I never really attempted to, try to get in on it because they seem to be a company of people that knew each other. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think she used the actor from the last 10 years from Guiding Light, you know.
exactly,
She
exactly.
joined
I was
she
on.
joined 1919 1990 yeah. And then
Yeah, that was
yeah. t-
way later. She did a great job, though, if I remember right. I mean, all of them are fabulous. There's so many characters that I never really
Yeah,
knew because I was working 77 to 85.
yeah.
77 was a really long time
Long time
ago.
ago, yeah, yeah. And we
Yeah.
watched the start here in 1990, 71, and not 9, sorry. That was start the first episode here in Germany. Look on the
Oh,
chat.
79
Yeah,
to
yeah,
90.
sorry.
Got it.
Sorry.
Okay, so you never would have seen uh those 2 years, the beginning 2 years when I was pregnant. I think it was 79 was when I delivered my daughter.
Well,
So
I have
I was
I have some episode from 1997, 7.
ah okay.
From
So
the
you got
Guiding
all
Light
those
classic box, DVD box.
those
It's only a few,
right.
you know. It was a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah.
It's a good
The
one.
formative years, as they say.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
formative
yeah.
years. Yeah, that was a great time. And my daughter's now all grown up. She's a lovely, beautiful, gorgeous woman who just gave us a granddaughter.
Wow,
And
wow.
my other daughter is also all grown up and married a fabulous guy that is he should have his own cooking channel. He's a major chef type person.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, I have a video on my website. If you go to the video, I have a bunch of videos, but way down at the bottom, I have a video on how to make beef Wellington,
Hmm.
and I still haven't made it. But he's made it for us for 2 Christmases. And the first Christmas I took pictures, and the second Christmas I videotaped it, and I still haven't made it. But he's pretty cool. And Jolan married this great guy. He's out of Yale, and he's like the perfect husband. He's just a great father and
Mm.
gorgeous and making a mint of money, and they're living very well up in Connecticut, and they care about us. They take care of us, so
Mm.
it's all good. I'm very grateful. I've been blessed in my life, to tell you the truth, on so many levels.
I watched the video later after our interview. The video, what you say on the website, I watched it after the interview on your website.
The beef
Yeah,
Wellington.
yeah. You say me, I watch it. I promise. For
It's
sure.
cute. It's cute. I like the Taming of the Shrew one more. It was a little bit more of a challenge, but yeah, I have fun with video. I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I would make my own film,
Mm.
indie film. I've thought about it. I think I'd be a pretty good film director, but it's a lot of money. It's not in my world right now.
I sent you a video from the German intros of Guiding Light. Have you watched it?
No, when did you send
I
that?
sent you with the email last week. But
Oh, an email last week with a video in it?
so you can open it and we can watch it together when you want.
Oh, there's the guiding lights. This is the old opening, yeah.
Oh, sounds amazing.
That's Rita. Oh my God, I love Lenore. And Mart. Oh my God, I see Mart now. And Chris, he died way too early.
Yeah, yeah.
Rita Lloyd, she's gone. Michael, oh my God, Michael. Kathleen, I see every once in a while.
Wow, Kathleen. Wow, wow.
Yeah, she's here she's uh-huh.
It's old VHS tape record. And that was only German what you see now.
This is all in German.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I see Nola made the cut there.
Wow, I love the intro.
These are the later years.
Yeah.
Definitely the later years. See, because I don't know a lot of these people. I know there's Kim. Don't remember that hairstyle. barely know these guys. I remember her.
Und nun die Springfield Story.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I love him, Michael. He's great. I don't know her. I see him a lot. He's cool. Grant. And Jerry. We see Jerry with the...
Und nun die Springfield Story.
he heads up the
That's the final one.
charity organization. We're doing that. Oh, this is beautiful.
That's the final one in Germany.
Yeah, yeah.
Und nun die Springfield Story.
Beautiful.
I
Awesome.
made it just for you. Because you sent me an autograph, I sent you a little thank you for you. So you
Oh,
can
and
watch it every time when you want.
Uh-huh. That's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, because you say to me you know only the Italian version from Guiding Light, so I want to send you the German version, you know.
I actually don't know the Italian version either, to tell you the truth. I had one request to greet my Italian fans
Mhm,
in Italian.
mhm.
So I worked on on my Italian. I don't know how it's going to come across, but I did my best. So that was fun.
Yeah, of
It's a
course.
challenge. Yeah.
So my next question to you is, what do you say about Katie? Was for you the character? Was a main role, regular role, recurring role? What do you say? What Katie for you as role and as person?
Well, Katie's my heart and soul, to tell you the truth. And as we changed writers, she lost her soul. I didn't realize it. When she was created, the writers were invested in the character.
Hmm.
And that, actors need writers. They really do.
Yes,
They
course.
need writers to care about you in order to write for you. And those early writers, they lived in California. They didn't know me. They kind of took from what I put on camera. They created, they enhanced, I guess. They started picking up on my rhythm patterns as far as how I talked. It was weird. It was a whole learning process for me at that time. I had no idea what was happening. And I just kind of went with the flow. I tried to do each scene to the best of my ability as an actor, and it kept evolving. And then when we changed writers, I thought, wow, I had such a great time with the first writers. Let me see what the new writers are going to do with me.
Of course.
And they had actually asked me if I wanted to go to As the World Turns at that time, because that's where the writers were going. The writers of Guiding Light at the time were going over to As the World Turns. And I chose to stay with the new writer because I thought something new would happen. And I kind of regret that decision, because if I'd gone to As the World Turns, I would have been a major character on As the World Turns.
Yeah.
And the characters are really what they write for, not the people, not me. So if I get a character that they have a plan for, then they are writing for you. My experience with Guiding Light was very different because they created Katie for me, and they didn't know what to do with me. I didn't have a story. So little things helped create Katie, like John Pasquin's direction and the fans saying they liked me. Those little factors kept feeding my scripts, and I kept getting better and better scripts. And then when Doug Marland took over, and this is all planned out in my history lesson too, he created another world. He was handed Katie as the young character.
Yeah.
And he created a whole world of other young people around me. and Nola became really important. She
Yeah.
was awesome. And Lisa Brown is a dancer friend of mine from Broadway, and she did great job with what Doug Marlin wrote for her. He wrote her some awesome stuff. All those fantasy sequences, awesome.
I like
You know,
Nola.
so,
I like her
yeah,
very much. Very much.
really great, really great. And Katie was, there, but she was pretty boring as far as I was concerned as an actor. But I was pretty busy at home with a baby. So, my life had become this middle ground where I cared more about me at home with the baby than I did about Katie on camera. It didn't matter what I was doing
Hmm.
anymore.
Hmm.
As long as I had a job, the
Yeah.
job was important. But I didn't get too involved in the politics of, being put on the back burner or whatever. I just tried not to care. It ate at me. I
Yeah.
was very frustrated during all of that time. I tried to do the best I could, but it was just not. It didn't feed my soul.
Hmm.
It just didn't,
Hmm.
and it didn't for the last series of writers either. Again, I tried to put my best foot forward all the time, but the less they cared, the less I cared.
Hmm.
So it became like a whole snowball.
Hmm.
And it was pretty unfortunate because I think it could have been a very supportive, wonderful world for me
Hmm.
up until the very end. But I just didn't feel wanted or anything. So I eventually got let go.
Was hard for you to leave Guiding Light?
Oh, God, don't ask. It was very hard. It was very hard. I tried to put my other actor hat on. I was grateful that I'd even had such a long run on Guiding Light, really,
Yeah.
because that's not the norm. And when they let me go, I had an agent, and I thought, okay, I'm going to be okay. I'll be fine. I'll get another job.
Hmm.
And it's just a job. Um, but I didn't get another job, and that agent eventually let me go.
Hmm.
Because the only thing that people were sending me up on were more soaps. And I thought, I don't want to do another soap. I either want to stay on Guiding Light and see it through to the end, raise my kids, have a family, do all that.
Hmm.
I don't need to do another soap.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
already done a soap.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you know, I was hoping that something else would evolve, but nothing ever did. And now, at one point, to go back to soaps, it feels like going back.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yet on the other side, it would be new. It new writers, new everything.
Hmm.
And you try to wrap your head around that. Some actors really go from show to show to show, and that's great.
Hmm.
If you look at my past with Broadway, I saw show to show to show as a dancer.
Hmm.
I didn't want that, and I gave notice. I made the decision. At Guiding Light, I couldn't make that decision because I had kids to raise.
Of
I
course.
had
Of
a
course. Yeah.
family. I needed the money,
Yeah. Family
and that
first. Yeah.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that changed my ability to take a risk.
Hmm.
And I wanted to play it safe, at least as long as I needed to raise the kids.
Of course.
And
Yes.
in
Of
fact, I
course.
went
Yeah.
into a corporate job
Hmm.
after I couldn't, I did what I could as far as getting another job in the theater, but then I gave it up and I said, okay, I'm going to go corporate. I
Hmm.
got a great job in a fabulous law firm. They paid me more money than I got on Guiding Light. And I worked like a dog for those people, but they gave me the security, and they actually gave me a lifestyle where if anything happened at home, they let me out.
Hmm.
They gave me time to go see my mom in Texas. They gave me time, they were really supportive of women who had families.
Hmm.
And that to me was eye-opening.
Hmm.
you know there's a lot of places that, and now the government's trying to allow that space for women to have children and not be penalized for it.
Yeah.
But it's a big issue. it's a big issue. I found it, I mean, it was just as hard for me to be 9 to 5 in a corporation and not be home being the mom
Yeah.
as much as I would like to have been. But there was a balance we needed, and money was a priority. So
Yeah, of course, I understand it. Yeah, of course.
yeah. So that, it's great when you can have, again, if I'd had Guiding Light and, the family, I would have had it all.
Yeah.
I would have been so content. But God challenges us
Yeah.
to find our way without, being coddled too much. And I think this whole coronavirus has challenged so many people.
Yeah.
The good marriages, can you stay together 24/7?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Let's
Yeah.
figure out where you're really coming from. And yeah, no, it's all of it is a challenge. And I believe God works in very mysterious ways. And he wants to see you. It's funny because I'm now thinking of the soaps and the storylines in the soaps, because we're living a soap opera right now.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
strong people.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you going to cope with the challenges in the world today? What kind of person are you against those challenges? It's a fascinating umbrella
Yeah.
that we need to look at the world under. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's,
yeah.
What kind of country do you want? And I want a country that is a melting pot, that's open to all, to live and let live. I don't want a country that makes it difficult for some people because their skin is black, as opposed to, and it's inherent, it's ingrained in a lot of the sensibilities of people, and they raise their children that way, which appalls me. But this is my belief, and I try not to get political about too many things, but I did start going political when I wanted Trump out. I do not he was not good for this country. He was good for the wealthy people in this country, but he wasn't good for, a lot of people that he made fun of, the cripples, the blacks, the Puerto Ricans. I mean, really, this man, he's our leader? No, I don't think so. He's not leading me. And we have that choice in America. So I'm glad that the people chose, even though he's trying to.
Yeah, the best
he doesn't
way. The
believe
best
it.
way. Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, I probably shouldn't talk politics here, but we're living it. We're living it. And I'm just praying to God that everyone sees the light, and that people start working together, that they'll listen to the other side and compromise. It's as opposed to shutting the door. They shut the door on a lot of what Obama tried to do. I'm hoping that they don't do that to Biden, that the Republican Party and the Democrats become, a cohesive group, that they listen to both sides. There was a great guy in Texas, Beto, who apparently could talk across the aisle. He was Democrat, but he was talking to Republicans. He was making sense to the Republican Party, and they were coming to a compromise. And I like that in people, when they can hear the other side.
Yeah.
My marriage with Steve is very much that way. We're very much a partnership. He has very strong opinions. And when I have an equally strong opinion, we come to an understanding.
Yeah.
But we're both strong people.
Yeah,
and
the time is thinkable, And
Yeah.
let me tell you something. I lost my former wife 2004, and
Oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah. Thank you.
2004. That's a long time.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, over the year at home now, and all the time I think about her. A long time ago,
Yeah.
not, but in this times I really think about her, and I miss her really much, and
I'm sure.
that's
Well,
it's a
when you
great
have
loss. Was a great loss in my life, and she was the one, she was the one greatest love in my life. I have no one
How did
before,
she
you know.
how did she pass?
Uh, yeah, that's a complex story.
I'm sure it was, but she lives on in your because of your memories, she lives on.
Yeah,
And I don't think she would want you to be alone. You need to open your heart to the possibility of another woman coming in. I've heard so many amazing stories of finding, love, um, even in much older age.
mm,
I can't even imagine if my husband left me, if he passed before me.
mm,
He's already threatened me. He says, you can't die before me. So, we're both going, no, we're not leaving each other alone.
yeah.
So it's, but we've been together for, 40 something years now.
Mm. Wow, that's
And
amazing. Really long
yeah,
time.
it really
That's
is, especially because I'm only 35. I don't understand the numbers. The numbers are just getting out of hand here. But, but I think life is to be lived. And, I used to tell my girlfriend when she got married, she was alone for a lot of years. And then she found someone finally. And she said she remembers my saying, like Noah's Ark, that people go two by two.
mm,
And I don't remember ever saying that to her, but she always thought of that. She was strong alone, but she always wanted someone to share her life with.
mm,
And eventually, she was older when she found that person, but they've been married forever and they had a kid, and they're happy now.
mm.
And I was very happy for her to have found someone to share her life with. And you, Ollie, you need to think in those terms too,
Mm.
that life does not stop, and it doesn't take away from your love for your wife. It really doesn't. But it opens your heart up to embrace someone else.
Yeah, and then the first time realized when I saw you guys and say to me, only the guys tell you to live on, to move forward, and you can
Yeah.
do this. You can do this pain over with this heart. And
Yeah.
this was really, really, really great for me, and I was thankful to you, to Robert, Kim, all the way, and it is so amazing. I'm sent Robert an email sometimes, and yeah, he has not so much time, but he say one thing to me. Ollie, we always on guiding like the family, on the camera and behind the camera. We act as a family too, you know. And
Definitely.
that's really really wow. That's what amazed me. And funny thing about Kim. So she have not really agent address so for autograph and so but I found the address, and Robert said to me, Ollie, we made autographs million of times, and all the people have another time an autograph, and please understand when she give you another autograph. But I write her a letter, and she gave me a wonderful 1985 picture from her wedding store, and best wishes, Cam Simmer Reaver, and I'm so blessed. It's a honor for me, and I'm so thankful to her that she made this. She made this. But Robert, he's right. You guys done a million times give autograph and stuff, and you think you all the time the people have so much autographs, but you know this was really honorable for me. Let me ask to you. So, have you the chance to say goodbye, Bert, before she guys left you?
Oh my goodness. Bert passed so long ago. I'm sure she's resting in peace
I hope
out
that
there.
really. I hope that really, really.
Yeah, yeah. As we all should in our next life. We'll come back. We'll have guiding light in the Netherlands somewhere. We'll all be reunited somewhere out there. My mother is now 90. She just turned 97,
Mm,
and she's in an assisted living in El Paso, Texas. And we talk a lot about her spirit coming to say goodbye because I can't get there. And I've been talking to her on FaceTime. And it's pretty sad because the home is closed. Nobody can get, even if I was down there, I couldn't get in. You know, you see her through a window, and no, I'm not traveling until I get the second vaccine and they open up the home. And I don't know if she's going to last through the year. I don't know, but I'm doing the best I can for her. Everything long distance, you know.
It's hard for
and
you.
Her book.
Believe
She wrote
me.
a book.
Yeah, it's hard.
She has she wrote a book a few years ago, and this publisher wanted to republish it, and I thought it was a scam. I thought they were, you know, hitting on this little old lady and trying to do something. I mean, she must have been 90 at the time this publisher came in. And when my mom told me about it, I was like appalled. I said, "Mom, this is like, you gave them how much money?" You know, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So actually now I've been working with that publisher, and I've been editing the book, and I've been finding how to do the cover, and I just sent it to the publisher last week, actually. So it's going to come out, and it's called The Phantom Sleuth. It's really kind of fun. It's a mystery. It's it's a cat fantasy where the woman takes this potion and ends up a cat and then spends the rest of the book trying to get back to being human. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of a fantasy. It's kind of looking at humans through a cat's eye, you know. My mom had lived with 3 cats, and so they inspired the story.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, she loved cats, and she thought they had a lot more smarts about them than most humans, you know. So yeah, it was kind of a fun read for me. So it's a trilogy. There's 3 books in the one, Phantom Sleuth, and I don't know, people I see it as a, what do you call it? One of those animation things. That would be fun.
Yeah.
You know, for Disney or whatever.
It's hard for
But,
you not to see your mom at the time.
Yeah, my mom, she well, I'll probably have some pictures out. I did a picture, I think, on my Facebook, except you might not be able to see it. I get kind of I try to keep the line between personal and professional separate. So, but I'll probably, you know, celebrate her when the time comes, one way or another.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll hear about her book coming out. I don't know if she'll still be alive to see it, but we'll see. It's like one day at a time at this point. But yeah, life goes on.
It's the
Oh,
only
cool.
picture. Yes, only from my memories. Only from my memories. I have sadly not a picture from her. This was the last look before she fall.
Oh, this is a drawing, not a picture.
Yeah, but it's only from my memories.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, really awesome.
You're quite the artist.
On the left side, carrot cake art.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
She made it for me.
I love that. I love that. You know, my daughter's an artist too. She's doing stuff I'm like in awe of. I don't know how she does it. She's got an Instagram page. It's Brett Foglietta Art on Instagram. And she's got these sketches. I'm still to this day, I'm going, how do you do that? I thought at first that she traced it, you know, so it really wasn't freehand.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, she does look at something and then tries to duplicate it with her own hand. And she's pretty awesome at how she does it with all the shading and the art and the this and the that. It's awesome. I look at some of that stuff and I just can't believe it's my own daughter doing it. You know?
It's amazing, right? It's amazing, yeah. right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy.
Send me the link after the interview to the Instagram channel. I will, yeah, look into, of course.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
All right.
and yeah, a free question for and then we finished.
Okay.
So
Okay.
next question: have you watched Guiding Light continue after you leave the show?
I I tried not to. It hurt me
Was too
too
hard?
much.
Was too hard for you?
It was hard for me to watch my not being there.
Yeah, yeah,
To my-
yeah.
I don't watch any of the soaps. I never watched soap opera before I got Guiding Light,
Hmm.
and I try not to get him because you really start caring about those characters like they are your sister or your brother or you get completely involved
Mm,
with those lives and you forget to live your own.
mm,
Um, that's not a detriment because I really believe that, all those stories are written for a reason
mm,
and they inspire people on so many levels. That's why I loved soap opera. They
mm.
are inspiring. And they always, like Guiding Light, the bad guy always got their just desserts.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's true.
right. And I always love that about the stories on Guiding Light and on all the soaps. You watch somebody get into a hell of a lot of trouble, and then they got spanked for it.
Yeah,
So it was, but I'm trying to create my own soap story in my world, my
yeah,
life,
yeah, yeah.
and so I try. There's like a fine line for actors who get so invested. And I got very invested in Katie. It hurt tremendously because Katie was my heart and soul. And there was a big hurt when they let me go.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's a big hurt when they stopped writing for me too.
Mm.
So it's just something I don't want to revisit. I like to think of the good times. And hopefully there'll be another something that I do out there that will become another chapter in my life.
Mm.
I look at my life as chapters. I had the Broadway thing and I have the family thing and
Yeah, yeah,
opera thing.
yeah.
And it's just chapters of a very wonderful life. And I do believe I've been blessed in my life. And some people say that you create your own luck,
Mm,
you
mm,
know,
mm.
and there's that phrase, people say, oh, you were so lucky. No, I worked really hard for that. you know, I, I did a lot of work before I got to that point. And that's what I'm doing right now. We're doing the Shakespeare series mainly because we want to keep sharp and we want to feel that we're still utilizing our skills. And nobody's getting paid for it.
Mhm.
We're just doing it. And I don't know what else to do at this point. I'm grateful that I have pension and Social Security that gives me the time to do that
Yeah,
and
of
not get
course.
paid.
Yeah.
But I hope to leave a better legacy for my kids. Um, you know, it's just that's what you do. That's the what do they call it? The chain of life, the circle of
The
life.
circle of life. Yeah, yeah. True.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
circle of life. I mean, you can't take any of these things that you collect. You can't take them with you.
Mm.
But you want to be able to feel that you're passing down a legacy of someone who you can be proud of. And then they can be proud to do whatever they do in their life. They have that
That's true. That's true.
canvas to write for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what I look at. I hope that both my daughters have, a great journey in their life.
Yeah.
And that's, if each of us look that way and that golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a simple rule.
Mm.
But if we could live by that,
You say you have contact with your former guiding light actors all the time. When the soap ended, was the moment for you? Was you sad, or what you say? Yeah, this was my past life, or what you say first when you heard Guiding Light is end 2009?
oh, I was sad. I was really sad. But I mean, it was compounded by all the soaps going down pretty much at the same time. They were in New York. It was a lot of work that was gone for actors. It was a wonderful training ground, certainly for me. And I know for a lot of other actors who had never worked camera. A lot of us were from theater, and just being on the soaps was a training ground that, you know, could not be taken away. But now in New York, there is nothing. You know, you either go be an extra on primetime, or, you know, you work indie films, a lot of the lower budget films, which, unless the people that are doing the indie film, I did a couple of student films when I came out of Guiding Light, and I just really was so frustrated because people wasted a lot of time. And in Guiding Light, we were together, man. We put a whole show in the can in one day.
Yeah.
Prime time takes a week.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, what luxury. You get to rehearse, you get to do this, you get to do that. No, Guiding Light, you were in at 7 in the morning, you rehearsed, and you taped it by the 11 o'clock that day. You know, it was, you know, in one, for my scenes, you know, like the scenes were broken up through the day, but you got a whole show in the can in one day. To me, that's phenomenal. And so therefore it's an amazing training ground for any actor to be able to get new lines, memorize those lines, you know, get them done in one take, to the best of your ability. So when you see those scenes that are just phenomenal, and you know that they did that in one take, maybe two, but it's wonderful acting on, you know, it's really in the moment and grounded, and those actors are really a lifeline for each other in many instances, and that's beautiful to watch. I'm sure it probably happens in primetime. I'm not there. I don't know. I haven't done a primetime show. I hope to, but you know, I like to, as I did with Pippin, you know, I saw that I don't want to do one show after another. My husband did 20 Broadway shows. I didn't want to. I did 3, and then I wanted something new, a new challenge.
Yeah, of course.
And I felt the same with Guiding Light. You know, after all those years on Guiding Light, even though I needed the work and I needed the job, and yes, I'd do another soap for the money. Yeah. When I had those kids, I would be doing soap for the money. And that's an icky way for me to approach the business. That hasn't been my guiding light. Is not the money.
No.
My guiding light is the writer, the director, the script, you know, whether or not that excites me. And we'll see where it goes. I don't know if I'll get what excites me. I'll have to create it for myself at this point. But I hope, you know, somewhere along the way, the universe kind of aligns, and I'll land into something like the Guiding Light again, where the family and the writers and the repertory company of actors, everybody's working toward the same goal. And it's a good goal, like Guiding Light, which was, you know, an awesome show at the time. And you're working for something bigger than yourself. And that I like.
Yeah, of course. That's a big thing. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So, last question. Can you say a few words to my, to Claudia? She gave me all the VHS tapes from Guiding Light, all the oldest years. Can you say a few words to her? I heard the interview first before I get online, so have a few words for her.
Claudia, I just personally want to thank you for giving Ollie this whole open ground for a new world. And thank you for being a fan of the Guiding Light, which is always my own guiding light in life. The light always, the light suppresses the dark. Is that the phrase? I don't know. But whenever you're going through darkness, the light is going to help bring you into the good part. So thank you for allowing the Guiding Light to be shared with all of Germany. Claudia, you're amazing.
Gosh, this
Thank
one's beautiful. I thank you. Denise, it was so honored to talk with you and to share some memories with you. Thank you so much for doing this for me and for all of us. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Thank you, Ollie.
It's so
Have
blessed.
a good one out there.
And let me say thank you for Katie and all the years with you. I will never forget that it's in my heart. You guys always in my heart. And you know, when Guiding Lights ends, it's not ending. In my heart, you guys live on, and move
Well,
on.
there you go, like your wife, living on
living
your
on.
memories.
Yeah.
All right. Love to you, Ollie.
Thank you so much.
Care. Bye.